Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's October 30th, 2016. I'm going to be going over this week's trade ideas. First one on this week's list is Whole Food Market, WFM. Chart's basing down here at this $28.50 range, so I'd like to see if $28.50 can hold. And if the chart can come over and close over its 50 EMA, there is a gap here that I think it definitely wants to try to get up to, or at least $30. So if the 28.50 holds, I'd like to be long into that range and try to see if we can get it up to the $30 or possibly even fill the entire gap at about $30.50. Next on the list is CBRL. Okay, so the chart seems like it's also basing down at the bottom here. It's gonna try to recoup some of its losses. There is a gap here in the 147 area. I don't think it gets all the way up there, but I do think from this 136.68 range, it's gonna try to get up to at least 140, and then we'll step into some resistance areas right over here. And then we could probably try to bring it back down into the short. So for right now, I want to play a long off the 134.75 range, right back into some support over here. Try to push it up into this resistance area and then re-short it back on. So that's CBRL. STMP. So we got a little bull flag set up over here, tightening wedge on this pennant. Now if the bottom of the pennant was to hold here, I'd like to see the top of it obviously break out, but before we test for the top, I'd like to get a little pullback off of Friday's move. Earnings is coming up on the 3rd, so obviously don't hold it far, I don't like holding stuff into earnings. That's on you. For me right now, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see a day trade on it, pull back to about $92.50 or so, maybe $93. Take it long, see if we get over this pennant breakout here. If we can break the pennant, then we add into the trade and take it up to that $100 mark. That's where I think it wants to get up to, at least before earnings. So I want to see how Monday and Tuesday work out, and probably have a couple days of play into this before earnings. MACK. Now this is a little one. Chart had an explosive little move. Pretty much gave back the entire thing, but it is making higher lows as it's working here. We also have earnings on this one on the 7th, so obviously I don't hold through that either. But now that the chart's curled up here, I'd like to see a move into earnings, and so what I'd like to see is a push over the 50 EMA here, and then a hold for a possible move up. So I'd like a $5 entry, which should bring me right about down to this area of support, find some support into this range over here, and also still above the uptrend. If it breaks the uptrend, obviously I'm done with it. But I'd like to see a $5 range for an entry and try to see if we can bring it up to $6. CTSH, next one on the list here. Chart's working its way back up, obviously off the big down, slowly curling back up. What I'd like to see is it come right up into this resistance area here, right up about 53. Also the 50 EMA is sitting right at that. I'd like to see it up to about 53, and then I'm going to short it. And then I actually want to hold on this one for at least a day. Earnings on this one also on the 7th, so try not to hold through that. And after the 53 rejection over here, I'd like to see it come down maybe back into the low 50s, or probably even break the $50 mark. ALXN, next one on the list. Now, obviously, earnings beat. Charts had 2 consecutive days here. I'm looking for one more day on this to pop up to 138. Get it up to 138, and then I want to bring it back down. I think the chart needs to retest some of this breakout range that it did. So I want to see a 138 pop and test, and if it gets rejected over here, I want to actually bring it back down to about 127, where then I'll take it long on some sort of a swing trade. Tesla. So chart keeps getting rejected by the downtrend over here, making higher lows, yes, but it's also testing the breakdown more and more. So what I'm feeling is like I'm looking at a huge bear flag over here in this breakout down here, and so I'm thinking Tesla actually fails to the bottom. So what I'd like to do is obviously play this one on the safe side. and wait for the breakout completely and then play for it on the short side. So what I'm thinking is the chart actually has room to get down to the 190 range again, somewhere closer down to this bottom at 190. And so I want to be short on it, but I need another confirmation of either it breaks the pennant to the downside and then I take it, or if I see a rejection back again at the trend line, I'll take it on the short side there. But for me, I'm short biased on it. I'm thinking 190 as a target. ESRX, next one on the list. Obviously, chart got whacked. I'm looking for this one to pop a little bit, maybe back to about 67, where I'm going to come into the short side on this one. And I'd ultimately like to see it back under the 64s. So it can be probably a play right into Monday, right into tomorrow. And so I'm looking for a pop to 67 and then a continuation on the short side. eBay, this is another continuation trade here. Could set up early on in the week. I'm looking for a quick push up here to about $29.50 and then a continued short. There is a gap down into this range, obviously, and I'd like to see if the chart wants to come down to that gap, which puts me down to about $27 as for a target and any kind of bounce. Last one on the list is FITB. Little one here, bearish engulfing right up at the top. Chart broke over its flag, never retested it. So what I'd like to see is I'd like to see this chart come back and retest this $20.65. Come back and test this $20.65 range, and then I'd take it on the long side. So it may not have a huge range, but there is a dollar from here to here. Bearish hammer up at the top, and then a bearish engulfing right there. So I'd like to see it come back down to this $20.65 range, and then I'll take it for a long. So that's the list for this week. Obviously, for you guys that don't follow me, it's Iceman Trading on Twitter, and there you can find links to a bunch of stuff that I do. And also, if you're interested in trading with me at Iceman Trading Academy, you can email me at barrymohan81@gmail.com, and I'll send you some info there. Thank you. Have a good week.